Hello, beautiful people. Great to have you here. So I have a video here I would love to react to, and it says Alphabet Mafia and Candace always destroys LGBTQ hypocrisy. Guys, let's see what the video is all about.
So, a report from Wisconsin Department of Correction reveals that over 50% of male inmates identifying as transgender females in Wisconsin prisons have been convicted of at least one count of sexual assault or sexual abuse. Out of 161 transgender identifying male inmates, 81 of them have been convicted of such offenses, including crimes like sexual exploitation of child, rape, and sexual...
What? Unbelievable. What?
Intercourse without consent. The Oversight Project at the Heritage Foundation obtained these records, and Director Mike Howell emphasized that men belong with men and men only in prison. He argued that housing sex offender men who claim to be women with female inmates is concerning and contributes to perceived moral decline. What do you have to say about this story?
I mean, least surprising story ever. I've been talking about this.
Guys, I'm surprised.
And there's a two-prong approach here. First and foremost, the advantage of a man. You commit a crime, you commit a sex crime, you molest a child, and you know how they treat pedophiles in prison. You know how they treat sexual deviants in prison. So you just say, actually, no, I'm transgendered. That's what's actually happening. Please put me amongst the women inmates who now need to accept. And the fact that prisons are doing this, they're acknowledging them and affirming them, and that taxpayers are having to bear the expense. I can't even talk about how much that infuriates me. But the second element of this is that there is what's not being spoken about, well, it's definitely being spoken about on my podcast, is the growing alphabet mafia, and how they are now adding letters that really just imply sexual deviancy. You know what I mean? Like a man feeling the need to put on panties, a woman's underwear, and you're pretending that that's like a gender or an identity. Perfect example, Sam Brinton, the nuclear energy White House person, who literally was open about the fact that he was a sexual deviant. I mean, wearing heels, lipsticks, into pup play, which if you look into what pup play actually is, you will be shocked at how disgusting it is. On a leash, and still got the job. You used to be fearful that if they Googled you and you'd find this stuff online, your employer, you couldn't get hired. This guy got right.
This guy.
That used to be that used to be a disqualifier if you could find somebody naked and in straps and into pup play. Sam Brinton just outwardly, I am a freak and flying my freak high, gets the job at the White House.
He was a nuclear.
He was the head of nuclear waste in the energy department.
America is gone. God's own country, for that matter. Hey, God.
I gotta go.
No, I promise you. I promise you. And then guess what happened?
He's a klepto.
He got arrested three times for stealing women's panties at freaking airports.
That guy?
Yes. And
not just one pair, a whole suitcase full.
I'm calling BS.
A guy like that would never do something like this, Candace. What are you talking about?
What are you supposed to be surprised?
I am shocked right now.
Told you I'm a freak, and then I did some freaky things, right? And that's what's happening right now in this climate of non-binary. I'm a man, but I want to wear women's underwear and be free. They're telling you that something is wrong, right? They are saying, I am flying my freak flag high, and then we're all supposed to be shocked when they do something that's sexually deviant. And that it's mind-boggling to me. It's why it is an issue that I care passionately about. I am a mother to young children. Why does a drag queen want access to a child?
Candace alone cannot do this, guys. Wake up, wake up. This is war against humanity, war against America as a whole.
Can anybody answer that big question? Okay, you're a man and you like to dress up as a woman and go to nightclubs. Okay, flying your free flag high. Now you're demanding access to read books to children. Does that not just does it pass the sniff test, guys? You know, and then you have women
want to do the sniff
out
test
there.
with this one.
It's really interesting.
We're here. We're queer. We're coming for your children. You've heard this before.
Yes.
Let's all say it in unison, guys. Right? I mean, it's scary.
And here's my thing. Like, for instance, we have everybody here has freaking gay friends. I have gay family members. When it comes to like the Pride Month and everything, it's like, could you talk about the sexuality of it? It's like, when is it ever cool? Name another month or a day or a moment where it's cool for any group to walk outside butt naked, G-string. And I get that there's like people are bringing their kids, which I think they should, go to jail. But when is it ever cool for you to be on a bike butt naked? Yeah. How is that?
Literally, if I said, hey guys, tomorrow's family day.
Okay.
We're going to have a family parade and
Yes.
we're going to celebrate families. No person is showing up butt naked, right? It's no family showing. So
Well, you don't know
there's
Tom.
something
Tom
about
goes crazy. Tom goes
get
wild.
naked, get on a bicycle. The men that were on bicycles, literally naked, right? But for some reason, when you say it's an LGBTQ pride parade, you're going to see nudity. What does that tell you? And people are fearful to talk about this, and it's crazy to me as a parent that we've allowed this to go so far. That we've allowed sexual deviancy to be perceived as an identity, as something that needs to be treated and loved. And who are the people behind saying we have women? It's always women.
Why do women not see the ridiculousness? And why aren't the women speaking out more about trans men in sports? Like, why don't?
Well, because those
aren't.
Those are feminists. Those are the Chelsea handlers, right? And so that's a whole different simulation. It's the moms at home are not the ones that are pushing that.
What percentage of women under 30, best guess, do you think fall into that type of ideology?
Like feminist?
Yeah. Like they love Chelsea Handler. They're cool with this. They're cool with men being in sports.
Difference if you're talking like early 20s versus end of 20s.
I'm saying Gen Z. Let's talk about that. 25 and under. That's the future. This is who we're trying to convince not to go down this path.
You want a percentage?
That's what I'm getting. Well, I know that you've highlighted that 20% of Gen Z identifies LGBT.
Look, here's a mayor in Burbank. He's an Armenian mayor. Okay, this guy. In the classroom, he's having this guy spank him. Check this out.
This is the Burbank?
This is the Burbank mayor.
The music might be.
That's the Burbank mayor that's doing this.
Pride, proud, love is love.
I mean,
she's a strong warrior.
and he's like, what's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with some of the craziest tweets came out about this guy, which is absolutely wild when you see the GUSD folks posted his tweets.
Oh, my God.
Constantine Anthony out of Burbank doing this. By the way, here's Oklahoma elementary school faces calls for firing a drag queen principal. The principal in Oklahoma is a drag queen. Can you please pull this picture for us? Pull this picture up for us to see it. So calls to fire drag queen principal Shane Mernon, also known as Chantel Mandalay.
Yeah, moonlights as a drag queen,
which
but
is
then
scary.
also previously was arrested on child porn.
20 years ago.
Yeah, and basically got away with it because of a technicality. I looked into this case. Technicality because they found what was clear to one judge and another judge was child porn, but then when they brought the trial forth, they couldn't identify the child. And so basically they were like, you can't prove this is actually a child, right? So they had to drop,
Stop.
I swear, because you have to be able to prove. So if I say that this is a child, even if it's abundantly clear to all of us this is a child, you have to be able to prove that, right? So it was clear enough that they arrested him. It was clear enough that a judge said this arrest holds, and then another judge said you actually have to be able to say who that child, like we have to be able to say that person is actually a minor. And they weren't able to do this. So the charges got dropped on a technicality, right? So he gets this expunged from his record, and then he somehow gets voted in a private ceremony. They came together, no parents were there, and they made him principal 20 years later. Arrested for child porn charges. Yeah.
What city in Oklahoma? Because if
and
this
now he
goes
wants
down
to be in front of children.
If this goes down in
what do you
LA,
know?
San Francisco,
And Moonlight's a drag queen.
Oklahoma.
And Rob, can you show the photo? Could we just all be completely honest? And all the viewers out there, look how scary drag queens are. Like some people have like a clown phobia. Look how scary that guy is right there.
Yeah.
Look, zoom in on the guy on the right. What that looks like the penguin from Batman.
Worse pictures, by the way.
Yeah, but they're scary. Like it's scary. You're not
like somebody
attractive.
who was arrested for child pornography, demanding access to elementary school children.
And they're cool with it. And they're cool. They're
I don't think anymore because the story got exposed.
Cool
and no, not the Oklahoma. If you don't know if you know this, is actually the reddest state in the union.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
West Virginia, Oklahoma, Alabama,
Oklahoma's
those three.
number one, the reddest state in the union.
Boomer
is Oklahoma.
Sooners. But Pat, in LA, there's a story about California.
Read it.
So in California, here it is. California passes bill punishing parents who don't affirm trans kids in custody battles. Okay, so if you don't affirm kids in custody battles, Elon called it utter madness. California State Assembly passed AB 957, which mandates that judges in child custody cases consider whether a parent has affirmed a child's transgender identity. An amendment in June broadened the requirement stating that the parents must affirm their child's gender identity to be deemed suitable, for the child's welfare in court, to which critics like Elon Musk, we know what happened with one of his billion children, strongly criticized the bill. Musk described it as utter madness and warned it could jeopardize parental custody if parents disagree with their child's transgender identity. So now California is like penalizing people if they don't affirm a kid's transgender transition. Are you familiar with this?
Yeah, I'm familiar with this. And what I've said is that I've stopped being outraged at California stories. It's like, to me, it's like if you're still a parent and you're raising your kid in California, outside of like you quite literally have no money and cannot leave the state, I can't sympathize with you anymore. I mean, I can't. I literally can't sympathize anymore. It's gotten so crazy there. Yeah. The policies that they're putting forth, that they're able to push through, they're telling you, I mean, it's basically a communist state at this point, that people are basically watching North Korea be built around them under the most extreme circumstances, and they're staying there. And then they're going, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. It's like California has showed you what California is. It is time to pick up your children and leave California. The state owns your children already in a variety of different ways. It's ending with transgenderism. This has been going on for a very long time. You saw this with COVID. They want to put shots in your child's arm. You have no rights in California. So I am now removing your right to complain if you are still living in the state of California.
But you can also ski and surf on the same day.
Yeah.
I love how people complain about everything, Candace, when it comes to Cali, the traffic, and they're just like, yeah, but the weather. I'm like, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
I'd rather sweat my ass off.
The weather in North Korea is just wonderful.
Summer in North Korea? Pyongyang? You haven't been to Pyongyang this summer,
have you seen a North Korean sunset?
Oh my God.
I winter in Pyongyang and I summer in the Hamptons.
So here's my question to kind of wrap up all the feminism, the women, the making men weak, right? The going after the kids, the trans thing, is it a concerted effort by, like, when you hear like the Klaus and the Bill Gates, where they're like, listen, overpopulation is the biggest problem. Is it an accident, or are these guys just openly telling us? Because all those people that we talked about, they're not having children.
Yeah.
The trans, you know what I mean? The weak men, they don't want to have kids anymore. The feminists are like, we don't need men. Is it by accident, or is it an effort to really slow down the population? Like, is it a deeper thing?
I think America's at war. Mm-hmm. I think America is at war. I think that people always thought World War III would be something like World War II. People would be dropping nukes. And no, I think it's a silent war. It's an ideological war. I believe that.
Very subtle war. You guys should wake up. A war against a whole God's own country. Guys, wake up. Wake up from your slumber. Wake up. They want to do everything they can to put down family. But they don't want family units at all. They are doing everything in circle, going round table, just to put down family units. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up.
There is a globalized effort to take down America from within, and people realizing after years China is a huge part of this effort.
Yep.
That you could take over America without firing a single bullet, and it begins and ends with culture, and that's why I believe that culture is the biggest battle that we're facing right now.
Sick. And TikTok really helps their.
I don't think. By the way, I think that fight, the feminist fight, is coming to an end because the product is showing common sense is winning, and data is winning, proving that this is not working. And there's more 60-year-old women right now talking about the biggest mistake they made is buying into being a feminist. They can no longer have kids. They wish they were married. They wish they would have done this.
Guys, I wish you were right. I really do. But I spend probably more time than anyone here with women under 30.
Yeah.
And I say, guys, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? Dude, these 25 and under women, they are so far gone. And that's the future. I wish you were right.
You know what it is for you to say that. You also contribute towards it, though, because think about it.
You're blaming me?
No, I'm not. I'm not blaming you.
Sorry, lady.
No,
I'm not. Tell me.
I'm not blaming you. There's an element of it that even, whatever you want to change, you have to look at it in a different way and not capitalize off what's out there. You have to eventually. All I did was women. From 14 to 25, that was my number one priority. And I'm like, listen, that's all I want to do. 26 times a year, I'm in Vegas. I was a 4-hour drive away from Vegas. In Vegas, the opportunity for prospecting was priceless on what it was. This is pre-Tinder days. I have no clue what it is to swipe right. You have to actually go talk and prospect. Like, that was work. Yep. Like, it takes work of going in and networking and meeting and a friend and this, and then eventually to go. Versus today, it's a DM. Boom. You're working your numbers, 100 messages. Boom, let's go 6 o'clock. Then you got one at 8. Then you got one at 10. I don't know that system, but it's a completely different ballgame. I think it's also an element of, us as men, we need to also kind of challenge the status quo and tell them we're not attracted to this. This is not attractive anymore, right? I don't know what you're doing. You think this is attractive? We're also not turned on by this. I think we can also play a role in that, but that's a whole different conversation.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.
Amen. Amen to everything Candace said. I'm so happy she's at the war front fighting against moral decadency. Guys, we need right thinking minds like Candace to come out, fight. See, the whole world is watching and America is misbehaving. They can't do anything. My people always have this to say. When you come out naked, when you are naked, it's your family that can cover you. No other person else can interfere in your family's affair like your family. Nobody understands your family affair like your family members. Have you ever stopped to ask yourself why these people, they are against family unit? Why are they doing everything they can to pull up family unit? Why? Have you ever asked yourself that? Of all the issues, of all the problems in America, in the whole world, they choose family units. They choose family as their major priority. Just stop for a while and ask yourself why. Why are they against it? Why are they against God's institution? You can do your bit. Go out there. Stop voting in people without conscience and morals into prominent position. Please stop doing that. Go out there and do the right thing. See you on the next one. Please support your girl by watching, liking, and subscribing to my YouTube channel. Be at peace with yourself. Bye-bye.